Welcome back everyone, this is MandoAllDay, back with another video, and in this video I'll be doing an overview of Scarecrow and Two-Face. These are going to be the Target exclusive gold label Jokerized versions of previous figures. As always, I'll be talking about the figures itself in terms of the articulation, sculpture, and paint, and if it's worth your purchase or not. Before we get started, make sure you hit the subscribe button to not support channel, but to keep up to date and watch videos like this. So let's take a look at front of the box. Start off with Two-Face. Front of the box, this side, the back, the other side, top, and bottom. Alright, and we'll do Scarecrow in front of the box, this side, the back, the other side, top, and a bottom. Alright, now let's take a look at each figure outside the box. As always, you do come with a card. This is what the card looks like for Two-Face. The back of the card. And I'll show you Two-Face's card. So the right side is going to be the original, of course you can see, and the left side is going to be the new one, and same thing. You can see the difference. Front of the card looks like for Scarecrow. The back of the card. And I'll show you again the difference for Scarecrow cards. The left one's obviously the Jokerized one, and the right one's going to be the regular one. And same thing with the back, you can see. Alright. Two-Face does not come with any accessories, but Scarecrow does. So this is Scarecrow's right trigger hand. Not much to it. And this is going to be Scarecrow's left trigger hand. And of course, these figures are the Build-A-Figure wave for the Dark Knight Rises, aka Bane. And obviously he's back there fully built, which we'll compare it in a bit to the original one. So let's take a look at these figures. We'll start off with Scarecrow here. And of course, they both come with a puck stand, regular puck stand. So the head articulation is going to be left, right, up, down, shoulders, bicep, kind of a weird bicep, but it's fine, elbow, and then wrist. It does articulate. I'm trying to figure out how this one particular figure articulates. I think it's this up, down, forward. Yeah. So it does articulate, as you can see there. Not the best view, sorry. I'm trying to get the... see, we can see right here. This is a stiff, so... It does articulate, just mine. You can see right there. And then we'll see if we can do torso, which is not really because of the jacket. When you go back, you can't really bend it because of the whole thing in the back. It will just kind of slide it forward. So, not the greatest of torso, but it's fine. Swivel, well, there is swivel. Leg articulation, knees, ankles. It does very limited because of the jacket. The pants. So there's articulation of the ankles. It's just, like I said, very limited because it keeps hitting right there in the back, and of course the front as well, and toes. So overall, the articulation of this figure, I gotta say, it's fine for this particular figure. Now let's talk about the figure itself in terms of sculpture design. First off, we start off with the head sculpture design and paint. It is just a repaint. This whole Jokerized wave is just a repaint. But man, this figure, it's just really, really weird paint. But it looks really good in a really weird way. First off, you got the painted smile on there. Then you got the painted eyes, which I actually did not know it came with painted eyes. I thought it came with the regular eyes, which are like that back there in the back, which I'll compare it in a bit. But it actually has regular painted eyes, black shadowing, looks nice. And you got that really textured feel to it, just like the original one. Again, it's a weird looking head sculpture, but it really works though, because it looks creepy. And the perfect thing about this is it reminds me like a Halloween themed Scarecrow. That makes sense? You got sculpture design there on the top. And you got the really textured feel to it of the actual stitching on the mask. The mask. And I gotta say, It looks really weird, but it works. Oddly looking head sculpture, yes. But again, it just blends in well with the whole Jokerized theme. Then you got the rope on here around the neck, which pretty detail. And then you have the rest of the body, which includes the actual jacket itself. Very sculpted design. You got all the buttons here, the belt. And what I like about this one is it also has that green paint underneath. See that right there on the actual jacket? I like how it kind of fades in right here. Look a little bit light green, and then you got the solid green at the very bottom. Very, very cool. Same thing here on the arms as well too. And again, very sculpted design on the actual jacket itself. You can see the buttons on it here. Very detailed jacket. Similar to the previous one, but I will say though, the previous one looks much better because of the whole paint, which I'll compare it in a bit. But this one looks good though. It looks really nice. Of course, the green accent makes it pop, and when you combine it with the front pants and so forth, which we'll talk about in a bit, it works though. Then you have here Why So Serious, and you get the painted smiley face that's dripping blood. Looks nice, looks clean, and I gotta say, this actually looks really well. I didn't think it was gonna look this well, but it works. Yes, it's a repaint, like I mentioned, but you know what? This figure oddly looks good though. Then you got the jacket underneath here, which you can't really tell, but this jacket on very sculpted design. You got the button on there. You got the jacket that's dark purple. Then you got the pant that's lighter in purple, and so you can see that right there perfectly. And the pants are just straight pants, not much to it. And the feet is very plain, regular feet. And so overall, as a figure, as a whole, I gotta say, it looks very well. As mentioned, it is a repaint to the previous one. Yes, the head sculpture and paint, it looks really weird, but it works in the theme of the whole Jokerized thing. And so, to me, this Scarecrow, I gotta say, I like it. I think it's a weird figure, but it works though. And what I like about it, like I said, it's perfect timing for this figure because Halloween's coming up soon, and there you go, you got like a Halloween version of Scarecrow. So, once again, I like this figure. I like this whole concept of it. But except for one figure of the Jokerized, which I'll talk about in a bit. So, to me, I like this figure, and so I'm digging it. Now let's talk about Two-Face. We'll start off with the articulation. So, left, right, up, down. Shoulder articulation. Bicep. Ooh, it's a little stiff, but it's fine. Elbows. Wrist. Torso, which I don't think this one had torso. Yeah, there's some torso articulation, not a whole lot, but there's something. Leg. Knees. Ooh, this is very stiff. Ooh, very stiff. Ankles. Similar to Scarecrow, the pants do hit, so you're somewhat limited on the articulation of the ankles, and of course toe as well too. And so overall, the articulation of this particular figure is better than Scarecrow's, but there are some limitations, especially with the ankles. So let's talk about this figure. And again, just like the Scarecrow, it's just a repaint. And this figure, it is weird looking even more. One, you got the whole burnt side of Two-Face. And I gotta say, this whole burnt side just looks magnificent. It looks creepy. Look at all that colors on there. You got that reds on there. Light red, a little bit of dark brown, black, a little bit of gray. So it's a mixture of all these colors. And when you look at it as a whole, it is just ugly looking. And then you got that painted eye. I like the eye. Look at that eye. That looks really good. You got the teeth on there. You can kind of see the lips on here. It's all melted. Again, very creepy looking. And it looks really well. And the other side, well, boom. You have the Jokerized version. You got the nice, slick hair, you green with the light green, blacks, not blacks, dark, well, there's a little bit of black on there, but you got the dark green and of course green. You got the painted lips on there, the eye shadowing. Like I said, just a repaint from the previous figure, but it looks good though. Like, I can't hate on this figure. I know some of you are going to say Mondo is just a Jokerized repaint from the previous figure, and it is, but you know what, as a whole, it looks really good, man. And so the head sculpture on this Jokerized figure, it looks really good. And with this extra paint, I think it works. Again, this is a Scarecrow, Two-Face, and that's Halloween themed. Then you have here the upper body. You got the nice black on their tie. I like it was just all black. You can really feel the texture on the actual thigh. Of course, this side has a burnt up jacket, as you can see right there. Let me see if I can move a hand on there. You can see the burnt up jacket. You got a little bit of like the blacks and dark purples on the burnt part on the jacket. I wish there was more, even probably here on the arm. I think that would work better because it seemed like this got burnt. But what about this arm or something like that? It would be kind of cool if they added a little bit more. But it's fine though. In terms of the upper body, it's just a jacket, and so it's a very clean looking jacket. It does have a matte look to it, and of course you can see, which I can see people not liking this, it's gonna be the joints. The joints don't match in color. You can see that perfectly right there. Look at that. You can see it definitely right there in the elbow. Look at that. You got on there the purple, light purple, then you have this like darker purple, which it doesn't work. For me, it's fine, but it is noticeable. Once you see it, you can't really unsee it. And then the other side of the jacket is just going to be plain looking. You got that open trigger hand. And then, of course, this side you do have the coin on there, which my coin, it got bent because it was inside the box, which is fine, but it's fine, though. But overall, I got to say, it looks awesome. It is a weird-looking figure, of course. But, man, it works. So, for me, it works. For me, it works. And this could be like my Two-Face Halloween version of it. Not call it Jokerized because we'll talk about it in a bit. But overall, I gotta say the upper body, it looks good. Then you got the lower body, you got the belt on there. Then you got the pants. The pants look like they've been burnt, which is kind of weird. Why this burnt, not the jacket? It's whatever. And the legs are just plain old dress pants. And similar to the upper body, the knee pads on here, or the knee joints, they don't match in color. You got that dark purple, then you have a different kind of purple on the knees. The feet are plain looking, the back, same thing again. The joints don't match with the actual leg of the figures, which is unfortunate, but it's fine for me though. But overall, as the figure itself, I like it. I know some of you are going to thumbs down the video and talk smack and say, Mando, why would you like this? It's just a repaint. I don't care, man. This is a repaint, but it's fun. And I like this whole Jokerized things and other figures are like glow in the dark, so forth. Because if you don't like it, then don't buy it. And so I think McFarlane's having fun with it. Yes, he's making a ton of money because it's just a repaint. But you know what? For this particular figure with extra paint, which, you know, I'll talk about it a bit in terms of the pricing. But overall, I got to say this figure, I like it. I really like this one. So, thumbs up for me on this figure. Now, last, definitely not least, it's going to be, of course, the Bane. So when you get the Batman one, the Joker, and the Scarecrow Two-Face, you get to build Bane. He does come with multiple hands, but these are the hands that I'm using. So, let's talk about Bane himself. We'll start off with the articulation. So, left, right, up, down, shoulder, bicep, elbows, and then wrist. And then we do torso, which is not really torso. It's more like the lower bar, lower abdomen, which is fine. And we got swivel as well, too. Leg articulation. Knees, which is a little stiff, but it's fine. Ankles, with it really articulate. And toes as well, too. So the articulation on this figure is actually good overall. Torso, it's not really torso. It's more like lower abdomen, but you get what I'm saying, though. Now, let's talk about this figure. And I gotta be honest, this is a lot of fun. This is a weird looking Bane, because you usually think of Bane, you think of him serious and like very, you know, muscle tone, huge muscles, and again, very serious. But when you see it like this, it is really odd looking. But again, it works though. You got that detail on the actual mask itself. You got that paint on the painted red mouth. Then you got the eyeshadowing on there too. I like how it's actually that kind of dripping. You can see that right there. I like that dripping, so shadowing. That looks really cool. They got more detail here on the Bane mask on top. You can see that. And of course, it has some green on there, which looks nice. Also too, the face is painted a little bit of white. You can see it towards the back even more. You can see that right there perfectly. See that? How like the body's more like skin tone, but yet once you get closer to the head, it gets more white. So it is painted on there. And I gotta say, The head sculpture design is just a repaint, but it looks good though. And having this whole Jokerized paint, it's weird looking, but it just works for me. Again, for me, I know some people may not like it. Then you have here the arm. Well, this is his left arm. Not much to it, just plain old muscle. I wish it had more to it. Maybe some kind of, I don't know, something on his arm to kind of make it unique and Jokerized. But it's all good though. Again, just very muscle tone on this hand. And the other hand, you have this whole little thing here on his wrist. Of course, I have his hand with the closed fist and muscle tone arms. Then we have the torso. The torso is still, the base color, it is going to be darker, so it's get more like a dark brown kind of base. And then you got, of course, the green on there. But it is very sculpted design, very detailed in terms of the actual, whatever this piece is, the jacket, or I don't know what you want to call it, the bulletproof vest, I think that's what it is. Very detailed. And again, just dark brown compared to the previous one, which I'll compare it in a bit though. So overall, I gotta say the upper body, it looks good, man. I like it. It is a bit unfortunate because it is a bit short. I mean, it's taller than the rest of them, but I wish it was bigger. Whenever I think of Bane, I always think of Bane that's like huge and muscles. But of course, they did it to the Bane from Tom Hardy, which is fine. But this particular figure, it's fine. Lower body detail. You got the military like pants. Then you got the zipper on here. You get very sculpted design. But something that I noticed too is that the pants don't match, because the underwear is more like a dark purple. The actual legs itself, it's more like a little bit lighter in purple, which you can see that perfectly right there. See that purple difference? Right there. Which is a bit unfortunate. Same thing here with the joints. The purples are don't matching. So there's 3 different purples on there regarding the lower body. But they're just regular military pants. It looks good though. Very sculpted design. Very baggy pants. You can see the pocket on there. I do like how it says ha-ha on the pocket. Very subtle, but it looks really nice. I wish McFarlane added more ha-has, maybe on the back of Two-Face. That would be really cool having right on there. Similar to what Scarecrow has, Why So Serious in the front. Maybe have something on the back of Two-Face. That would be really cool though, but we got this though. I do like the green knee pads. It makes it pop, especially with that purple pants on there. Looks nice. Then you got the nice military boots on there, just black gloss. So overall, the figure, I gotta say, it looks good, but it's disappointing because I wish there was more to the whole Jokerized thing. I wish there was something more to it. It's not bad, as I mentioned, but I wish there was a bit more to it though. But regardless though, what I think about this particular figure, I like it. I like the figure. Again, when I think of Bane, I'm thinking being serious, but this works fine for me. So to me, I like this figure. So of course, the main question is it really worth it? Should you go out and get these figures to get, well, the figures for Bane and of course Scarecrow and Two-Face? Well, for the price that you're paying for $25, let's break it down. The original figures cost $25, and you get to build the same figure, the Bane. These are the same price as the original ones, but you get extra paint. That's what I want to talk about too, because yes, this whole Jokerized thing, and I get it. Some people may like it, some people don't. But if you really think about it, McFarlane is essentially adding more paint to the previous figures for the same price. And so I think for money, I think it's actually worth it. The original ones, I definitely recommend they're definitely worth it in getting a whole wave of it. And this particular figures, or these particular figures, I should say, I would say, yeah, I think these are definitely worth the price of $25. I know there's one figure that everyone does not like, which is Joker, which doesn't make sense. Jokerized Joker, but regardless of that, though, I think for the price, so I think it's a really good deal for these figures. Again, you get a good sculpture design, good detail figures, base figures, and you add the whole Jokerized theme. There you go. And of course, you get pieces for the Bane figure. Apart from the price, though, what do I give these figures? All of them combined, I easily give a thumbs up. These are fun figures. And again, if you don't like this whole Jokerized thing, then don't buy it. Simple as that. I think they're great value for your money. And again, this whole Jokerized theme, silly and fun, yes. Missed opportunity here and there, of course. But overall, I like them. Here we have the original Two-Face figure and of course the Jokerized version. And if you were to ask me which one I prefer, I'm going to go for the original one just because of the nostalgia rush from the Dark Knight movie. But regardless of the whole nostalgia, in terms of actual presentation, honestly, I'm going to go for the Jokerized version of it. It's silly, like I said, but it works though, and it makes the figure stand out. Don't get me wrong, I like this figure. I gave this a thumbs up, man. This is a good looking figure, and a great addition to the DC Multiverse. And the great thing about it, you can actually mix it up with other Batman figures. This one, same exact figure, but again, you get extra paint. You get the painted eyeshadowing, the lips, obviously the hair, and so forth. And so, to me, I prefer this one over this one. But again, they both look good. I just think this one looks better. Here we have Scarecrow, the original one, next to the Jokerized version. Now, as I mentioned regarding the whole jacket thing, you can see perfectly clear what I mean. This one, it's a lot brighter, and I actually feel like it's a bit of a disservice having this kind of bright, because look at this. This whole, like, shadowing and so forth here on the jacket, so much detail, and you can really see more of that jacket detail. This one, of course, the green paint and of course the paint in the front grabs your attention. This right here, having this whole shadowing type of paint, look at that. Look at the back. It makes the figure pop more, and it just stands out even more. You can really appreciate all that detail in the jacket. This one, which it looks good, but unfortunately though, the whole bright color overshadows some of the detail. Like for instance here in the pocket right here, as well here, you can definitely see here more sculpture design there and there. So I prefer this kind of jacket compared to this one, but I do like the whole Why So Serious in the center. This one obviously doesn't have that. And of course the big difference is going to be the paint. This one has like a regular eyes paint. You can see it here perfectly. See that? This one has a red eyes, which looks creepy and mean, and I actually like that. But if you would ask me which one do I prefer out of these two, I'm going to go for the original one. Because I'm telling you, when you see this figure, when you see it in person, especially all that detail in terms of the jacket and everything, you really appreciate the figure even more. And you'll be like, damn, that jacket is highly detailed. This one, you can still see it, but you really have to look for it. This one, it's right there. Here we have the Bane figures. This is going to be, of course, the original one next to the Jokerized version. Like I said, it's just a repaint. And if you were to ask me right away, which one do I prefer? I'm going to go for this one because of the paint. It's over the top and it's weird looking. But I will say this, though. Like I said when I'm talking about Bane, when I think of Bane, I always think him huge and buffed out. This one, it's not bad. Don't get me wrong. This particular version is not bad. Don't get me wrong. I like this Bane figure. But to me, it's a bit of disappointing because, again, Bane's supposed to be huge, very muscle-toned, menacing. This looks like the guy who works at like a Gold's Gym or 24-Hour Fitness. Not hating on that, but again, hopefully it makes sense what I'm referring to. And so when you compare, not compare, but when you have this figure displayed or next to another figure, it blends in. It doesn't really sound like, oh my god, that's Bane. It's more like, oh, just another figure that's buff. And so this one, it gives it extra character. This one, it's just kind of like, it's there. This one, it gives it some character and personality. Because like I said, the figure itself isn't bad, but it just doesn't really stand out as a Bane figure. It just looks like another figure. And if you were to head swap it with, let's say, a random head, it would just blend in like anything else. This one, at least it grabs your attention and it gets people talking like, what the heck is that? And then you can say, well, it's Bane. So, I don't know. Hopefully it makes sense, but like I said, I prefer this version. Here we have the Joker with his other Jokerized friends. We have Joker the Bank Robber, the Gold Label exclusive San Diego Comic-Con, and of course, Scarecrow to the left and Two-Face to the right. Man, this figure, it is just top-notch. 10 out of 10. The head sculpture design looks great. Everything else just blends in very well. Then you have here two very bright figures standing next to Joker Bank Robber. So there you go. Here is a regular movie figure next to two Jokerized figures. Here we have, to me, probably the best Jokerized figure so far. It's going to be Batman The Dark Knight Returns Jokerized version. Next to other Jokerized Batman figures. Jokerized figures, I should say. This one's, to me, it's still the best one. You have the ha-has perfectly placed. You have it on this abdomen, his thick thigh, and of course, the shoe. Then you got the green paint on there on the actual purple cape. Also the face, I mean, just about it blends in, works perfectly, very well, and it just stands out. This one stands out in terms of the why so serious, the pants, but also the jacket kind of, This one, the color palette is cool, but just missing that it factor. This, to me, perfect example of having a good Jokerized figure and having the it factor. So, there you go. This is going to be my favorite Jokerized figure so far. And here we have all 5 figures standing next to each other. We have Scarecrow Jokerized, Batman Jokerized, Bane Jokerized, Joker. I don't understand why you do a Jokerized Joker. And of course, Two-Face Jokerized. And like I said at the beginning of the video, you get all these 4 figures and you build Bane. And so overall, this whole entire wave, I gotta say, I still give it a thumbs up. Yes, it's a repaint, but like I said, you're still paying the same price for the original figures, and you get extra paint. Extra paint here on the boots, on the gauntlets on there, on the face, on the actual pants, right? This one, well, it's just that. This one, you get extra paint on the mask, on the actual jacket. Here, it's just that. So, again, for the price you're paying of $100, or maybe cheaper if you get discounts, for all these figures, I gotta say, I think it's actually worth it. So, to me, this whole wave gets easily a thumbs up for me. I like it. Cheesy, over the top, yes. But is it fun? Absolutely. Let me know what you guys think. Do you guys agree with these figures? Do you plan to purchase these figures? Leave it in the comment section below. As always, make sure you hit the subscribe button to not support the channel, but to keep up to date and watch videos like this. This includes an overview of Scarecrow and Two-Face, the Jokerized Target exclusive figures that build the Bane Jokerized. And on to the next one.